Blessed be the tie that binds is an old saying about weddings. But I'm going to take it to mean a union of a different kind. Happy Labor Day weekend, my friend Jim.
Oh, happy Labor Day weekend.
Yes, Labor Day. What does labor mean to anybody? I spent my career as part of a union.
I know you did.
And you were self-employed gainfully and
Yes.
not too appreciative of unions, figuring that they were kind of thug-like.
Yeah, I still do.
You still do. Okay, well, I'm going to just maybe read a few things that talk about the value of unions. Happy Union Day. Did I do anything? No, I did not go and march, although I have marched with the OSSTF, the Ontario Secondary Schools Teachers Federation, for Union Day to represent that particular union. Union Day, Labor Day, where we celebrate the United Auto Workers? They got to be about the biggest one, I think. Maybe.
Sure.
And
I
what
don't
about the
know.
public service employees unions, the Ontario UPSU?
I know that the teachers union is filthy rich. I mean, you have investments and everything under the sun.
Well, we used to own
and you
a
can
big
wheel
share
the
of Maple
government.
Leafs.
You can make them do what you want. And
Nah, you can't
even
really
go
do
against
that.
what I want?
No, we can't do that. There are limits to the powers of unions. Anyway, I just wanted to remind people that unions have impacted the workforce and many of the things that we accept, concepts such as workplace health and safety,
Yes,
concepts
it's
such
all
as a
good.
40-hour work week,
All good.
concepts such as paid vacations,
I'm grateful for
paid
all of that.
sick days,
I
paid overtime. Is there anything else? Well, those are the ones that come trippingly to
All
my
good.
mind.
Yeah, I like
and
all of that
unions
stuff.
fought for all of those things.
Now, what I don't like so much is they fight for raise hikes, which other people don't get, and therefore then all the companies they work for up their price for the raise hikes, and the
Okay.
people that don't make that money can't keep up.
That, I think, needs to be put to bed as part of the conservative misinformation campaign that sort of goes with fossil fuels, saying there is no such thing as climate change or burning carbon fuels
humbly
is not
disagree.
responsible. So let's fix that one and say this is part of the argument that says, yeah, it's giving people raises that raises the cost of goods. And I think the demonstration was the cost of CEO and administration salaries in the last 40 years have risen like 680%.
That
whereas
too.
wages of the workers creating these goods and services and products have risen less than 7%.
Okay, I don't care.
Okay.
I
Well,
just
I do
know,
care
I
because
just know
that gap
both of them.
is
If you don't like the person you're working for, or you don't like the products, you don't like their mean.
No, you
don't
have
buy
the right,
product.
You
don't
have the
do
right
it.
to organize.
And-
You have the right. It's part of your
Of course you
freedom.
do. Of
So
course
you
you
can
do.
assemble and gather.
You also have the
like-minded
right
people.
to become a billionaire if you want to pay the price.
True, but I'm going to take a look at righting the wrongs as the first thought rather than making profit as my first goal in my purpose-driven life. So see how I warp these things all together. Yeah, so look at this work of equal value. Women never got paid equally until the unions started to fight for it. Anti-discrimination laws where you could pick on people and say, no, you're not worth getting the same wage as this guy because what? Your skin color, your gender, your race, your belief system? Forget all that. If you're working, everybody gets the same. And I like that kind of treat everybody the
same
same.
work, same pay. Yep.
Yeah, so
like
all that
that.
stuff came after a long, long battle of unions. One of the first industries to get organized was the women's textile unions out of New York,
Really?
where women were forced to work long hours with poor lit conditions in dry as kindle multi-storied factories. And it was only after, I forget how many women perished in a big fire in New York, that things started to change and health and safety became an issue, and women organizing for better working conditions
I
became
worked
an
in a
issue.
place as an adult downtown, and every day I reviewed my escape plan. Should fire break out.
Wow, that's pretty prescient of you.
That's what I did. How would I, if it was here, what door would I find? Is that open? Is that door at use? that, because that's how much I believed if a fire started in this place, it would have gone up in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Completely up in 5 minutes.
Wow.
In spite of the sprinkler system, which may not have worked, knowing the people I worked for.
And that's just your limited view. I know Spadina Avenue was the home of the textile workers in... Oh, okay. Well, that's funny. Because the same issues, whether it's New York or whether it's Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, the big cities have the same problems where our manufacturing used to be in the downtown areas.
Are miners unionized? Because a lot of them end up perishing, but I guess that's different places, different countries. Because you mentioned the women perishing in it, but there's,
Right.
I mean, there's men
child
that go
labor was only banned in the middle of the 20th century, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably in the
1920s, 1930s.
Oh, I
something
thought
like
it would
that.
still be going on, but
You know, some of the
in
mines.
some countries
when
it
you-
is now.
When you go and look to some of the old mining shafts and you see that they're small, it's because the kids were pulling
Yeah,
carts
yeah,
of
yeah.
minerals out. That's really bizarre stuff.
Well, it is bizarre, but I mean,
Child labor.
There's a catch-22 to a lot of things. Like there's a lot of we talk about the
Sweatshops.
sweatshops and stuff. But those people need that money. They don't want you to shut them down. Sure, they would love pay and get better money, but they're doing it because they need money. And I'm just saying that fixing everything is a wonderful idea.
It's a moral idea.
It is a moral idea, but
So you can't say profit over morality. You can't
no,
say
I
greed.
can't. And you know me, I wouldn't be the one that would be making people slave. But that's why I wouldn't be rich
Well, and me too.
in that area. In that area.
Anyway, union improvements. Happy Labor Day weekend. Fighting back against the man. The man meaning the institution, the owners, the people in charge, people who are making decisions. Did you know that most of the payout monies for the 2008 crash of the markets and the banks were failing and the mortgage and the subprime stuff? That a lot of the companies used money that they got from the government to buy back stock options.
Yeah.
And that to me
Trump
is
would say
morally...
that's just being smart.
You're right. Good call. Yeah, it's not being smart. It's being immoral. It's being
But
unaware.
a lot of the people,
It's-
we've already come to that conclusion that a lot of CEOs, this was found out a long time ago, are sociopaths. They really don't care about anybody else whatsoever.
And that's what it takes to make
They
a
can pretend they
good
do.
business.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's even good business. I don't like working for them any more than anybody else would. I probably wouldn't, and that's why I did what I've done in my life. Thank God I've survived.
Yeah.
I do fight for the right of being able to become a billionaire, and the best way to fight it, don't buy their product, don't go to their places. That's the best way I see to fight it. My concern is that those who aren't, the lessers still remain lesser, and the medium people, their wages go up a little bit. But this poor sap down here, his wage don't go up. And all of a sudden, like they said, we talked about
Minimum
earlier.
wage has been the same in the United States at $7.25
Yeah, that's just nuts. That's
for
nuts.
nearly 40 years.
But I told you I was down. I was last time I was in Florida, which was now 2 years ago, I guess. I was down there. They were posting how much they would pay, and it really, really wasn't bad. And every place under the sun, even on the back of trucks, saying we will pay you this with benefits. And I saw a family begging on the street.
Right. But
I didn't understand.
I
that.
wouldn't link the two necessarily. You have two separate incidents and don't conflate them. Conflation is when you take the two and put them together and say it's the same issue. It may not be the same. It may be, but we need to investigate that particular instance.
Yeah, and I guess
a
I was
little
on
more.
vacation. I didn't study. I just
Yeah.
found it very unusual that every place had a help wanted. Every place had a help wanting sign, and there was billboards and trucks with what they will pay you if you would just come and work. And right under one of them was this whole family begging on the side of the
Right.
streets, and
Right.
they all looked well. They all looked
Right.
dressed okay. They weren't looking like poverty.
Appearances are deceiving, and we don't know.
Well, it is, but go
so
across the road to that person's hiring. I don't know.
I'm
And it might be
not-
way more complicated than that. The guy
Yeah.
might have mental issues.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So there are many things
Yeah.
that need to be. So conflating these things
But
is
my-
not a good idea.
My sadness goes to those who I believe are left behind, and that's the ones that aren't unionized,
Well, you were-
not smart enough to get that job that takes grade 11 or whatever. They're lesser than that, and they're just struggling.
Unions defend those uneducated manual laborers. So it's because of those people that unions developed. Unions weren't developed for the professional class. Unions were developed for the working class.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, and maybe not in great areas, but it's so funny that sometimes it's hard to become maybe a police officer unless your uncle's a police officer and your dad before you. You
Right.
get in there. Same as a union. Go to GM. I don't even know if GM's there anymore, but
It is.
You go there. You get in because Uncle Ray works there, and you get a chance to be in. There's other people that can't meet the education level for whatever reason. They're OCD, BBE,
Right.
whatever they are. And they can't meet that. They're the people that I'm concerned about, because as we were talking earlier about even buying a car now, some of these pickup trucks are $125,000. Your neighbor's pickup truck. And then the little Toyotas are not available anymore, so you pay double what you would have paid for that, but you're not making double.
No.
You got to get in a union.
Well, I'm not sure.
No,
it's-
that was a positive. I didn't sound positive.
Yeah, it didn't sound positive
But
at all.
I meant. Okay, I'm saying
Unions-
it. I'm saying it now. You need to be in that union,
A
or you're going to be left
rising
behind.
tide floats all boats. Unions are part of that rising tide. Without unions, it's dog eat
I
dog,
would
rugged
not. I wouldn't want
individualism.
unions to go. I
Okay.
just don't like some of the way they hold society hostage and inconvenience people. I don't like that. Like I didn't like the truckers.
You don't like negotiating. You
No, I don't like
being
not
part of a
going to work and
process.
causing people to try to find
think-
other ways of doing this and
No,
that.
I think we need
because
to
you
understand
want your
the
point.
bigger issues. And on this, we seem to be talking
And
over
I just
each
don't
other.
understand, do
you
I,
just
Terry?
don't
Don't
understand.
get it.
Yeah, well, I tried
Oh,
to
wait a
show
minute.
you.
I thought you didn't like the don't get
The
it
wage
answer.
gap is a huge reality in America and in Canada. The
All
rich
right.
are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the middle class is disappearing.
But we're
You
going to
and
Mars.
I.
We're going to Mars. We're going
Is
to
that
Mars.
our next podcast? The Jim and Terry Show, looking for things lofty. Bye-bye.